221.13 Bhāṣya.
तत्र केचित् पंडितं मन्याः वदन्ति जन्मादि षड्भाव विक्रियारहितः अविक्रियः अकर्ता एकः अहम् आत्मा इति न कस्यचित् ज्ञानम् उत्पद्यते यस्मिन् सति सर्वकर्म संन्यासः उपदिश्यते न जायते इत्यादि शास्त्रोपदेशानर्थक्यात् यथा च शास्त्रोपदेश सामर्थ्याद् धर्मास्तित्व विज्ञानं कर्तुः च देहांतर संबंध विज्ञानं च उत्पद्यते तथा शास्त्राद् तस्य एव आत्मनः अविक्रियत्व अकर्तृत्व एकत्वादि विज्ञानं कस्माद् न उत्पद्यते इति प्रष्टव्यः करणागोचरत्वाद् इति चेत् न मनसैवानुद्रष्टव्यम् इति श्रुतेः शास्त्राचार्योपदेश शमदमादि संस्कृतं मनः आत्मदर्शने करणम् तथा च तदधिगमाय अनुमाने आगमे च सति ज्ञानं न उपपद्यते इति साहसम् एतत्.
Translation. Here, some conceited pedants would say that in no one arises the knowledge that he is the self, the one non-doer, immutable, without the 6 types of changes like birth, etc., and that without such knowledge, no teaching of renunciation of action can take place. But that is not correct. If it is, the teachings like not born, etc., will become meaningless. They, the pedants, have to be questioned how the knowledge about the existence of dharma and the knowledge about the relation with successive bodies arise in the doer by scriptural teachings, and why the knowledge about the immutability, non-doership and oneness of the self does not arise for him through scriptural teachings. If it is because of the non-visibility of it, that is the self, that objection is not correct. There is Shruti to the effect, quote, to be seen by the mind, unquote. The mind that is purified by the teachings of the scriptures and the Guru, and by the control of the mind and senses becomes the instrument for realizing the self. Thus the scriptures and inferences being available for knowing the self, it is too much to say that knowledge does not arise. 221.14 Bhāṣya.
ज्ञानं च उत्पद्यमानं तद् विपरीतम् अज्ञानम् अवश्यं बाधते इति अभ्युपगन्तव्यम् तच्च अज्ञानं दर्शितं हन्ता अहं हतः अस्मि इति उभौ तौ न विजानीतः इत्यत्र च आत्मनः हननक्रियायाः कर्तृत्वं कर्मत्वं हेतुकर्तृत्वं च अज्ञानकृतं दर्शितम् तच्च सर्वक्रियासु अपि समानं कर्तृत्वादेः अविद्याकृतत्वम् अविक्रियत्वाद् आत्मनः विक्रियावान् हि कर्ता आत्मनः कर्मभूतम् अन्यं प्रयोजयति उरु इति तदेतत् अविशेषेण विदुषः सर्वक्रियासु कर्तृत्वं हेतुकर्तृत्वं च प्रतिषेधति भगवान् विदुषः कर्माधिकाराभाव प्रदर्शनार्थम् वेदाविनाशिनं कथं स पुरुषः इत्यादिना क्व पुनः विदुषः अधिकारः इति एतदुक्तं पूर्वमेव ज्ञानयोगेन सांख्यानाम् इति तथा च सर्वकर्मसन्न्यासं वक्ष्यति सर्वकर्माणि मनसा इत्यादिना.
Translation. And it has to be understood that the knowledge that arises dispels ignorance, its opposite. This ignorance has been shown in the text, quote, I am the slayer, I am the slain, unquote. In the text, quote, neither of them knows, unquote, it has been shown that the idea of the self being the direct or causative agent or the object of killing is a product of ignorance. This is so in all actions because the self is beyond any change. Only the agent who is subject to change uses another person telling him "you do" for obtaining what he wants from an action. Bhagavan negates the role of the enlightened one as a direct or causative agent in all actions without any difference. It is to show this that Bhagavan uses words like, quote, "Whosoever knows this self as indestructible, eternal, unborn, and without decay, O Arjuna, how and who does he slay or cause to slay?" Unquote. As to where be the entitlement of the enlightened, it has been stated before, quote, "By the path of knowledge, the men of wisdom," unquote. Similarly, the path of renunciation is going to be described in words like, quote, "renouncing all actions by the mind," unquote. 221.15 Explanation. The reply to the previous objection ended with the statement that the actions enjoined in the scriptures are meant for the unenlightened. That is 221.5. The questioner continues from there saying knowledge is also meant for the unenlightened. Then what distinguishes the enlightened from the unenlightened? The Acharya begins his answer by describing the status of the unenlightened. He has the feeling of "I am the doer. This is to be done by me," etc. With this feeling of I and my duty, he does the rituals prescribed in the texts, gathering the materials required and following the procedure laid down. So long as the feeling of I remains, he has to do that. That is what he is qualified for. On the other hand, the enlightened has lost this feeling of I. He has realized the self which is not born, does not die. That is 220.11. The feeling that he is the doer does not arise in him. This is what distinguishes him from the unenlightened. 221.16. Thus the two have different adhikaras or entitlements. This Sanskrit word has in its gambit various meanings such as suitability, eligibility, deserving, authorization, empowerment, and entitlement. Each individual has a path of progression which he deserves or to which he is suitable and entitled according to his guna structure. See 1.19 of Volume 1. His karma and various other factors. That is the course destined for him. It is up to each one of us to look into ourselves and find out what is our adhikara and follow that. A person who goes to the forest for sannyasa but still thinks of his kith and kin or the house he left is no adhikari for sannyasa. He should be a householder as his adhikara is for a grihastha. See 4, 5, 10 of Volume 1 for its meaning. A well-known use of the expression is in Śloka 247, where Bhagavan tells Arjuna, "Karmanye vadhikaraste." Your adhikara is for karma. 221.17. The path to which the unenlightened is adhikari is action. The scriptures call him the one who does not know the self or the unenlightened. The mantra of Katha Upanishad, adapted in Sloka 219, quote, "Neither the slayer nor the slain knows," unquote, shows this. But the scriptures call the other the enlightened because he has realized the self. He is adhikari for forsaking all action and going for sannyasa. Similar is the case of the true seeker. Though he has not yet realized the self, he is seeking only the knowledge of it, forsaking all worldly quests, and thus his adhikara is not for karma. Bhagavan says in Sloka 644, Jijñāsurapi yogasya shabda brahmāti vartate. Even the seeker of yoga goes beyond the injunctions of Veda. Thus, the scriptures are very clear about the distinctive adhikaras of the unenlightened on the one hand and the enlightened and the seeker on the other. There are several places where this comes up. One is in Gita itself in Shloka 3.3. Lokesmin dvivitha nishtha pura prokta mayanakha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. O sinless one, I have laid down in days of yore the two kinds of firm observance. They are Jnana Yoga for Sankhyas and Karma Yoga for Yogis. A footnote here. Here the word yoga takes the meaning of path. Similarly, in Mahabharata, Shanti Parva 241.6, Dvavima vatha panthanau yatra vedah pratisthitaha pravritti lakshano dharmo nivrittischa vibhavitaha. Where the Vedas firmly speak of the path of dharma, it is envisaged that there are two paths, the path of action and the path of renunciation. We have seen a discussion of the difference between the two paths in Shankara's preface, that is 220 H3 onwards.